Hello and welcome to Fight for Blight, session 41. Smells like justice. It's been a while since we've had our last session with a couple things coming up here and there, kind of postponing the game, but all for good reasons, and glad that we are back, but excited to get into what everyone has done in this past month's time. Just Alan, let's start with you. How's your past near month?
It was about 3 weeks ago. I got to see Tilly and May for a bit, not for long, but it was good to catch up. And I think the weekend after that is when I went back to South Carolina and went to go to see some horse racing, but I lost all my bets, so that part kind of sucked.
That is always
Oh.
a shame.
Yeah, but it was like cheap though. Only lost like $7 total, so not bad at all. And I'm playing Outer Worlds now. Hooked. That's about it.
Oh my gosh, as a side game note, I've been playing a lot of Civilization, and I don't. The new one is there's a lot more to like manage. I don't know if you guys have ever played it or whatnot, but nonetheless, it's
Mm.
very strategic and kind of challenging, but also fun to play with friends on co-op because then you can just troll the computer, and that's always a good time.
Always.
Crix, how was your past couple weeks?
It's been good. Let's see. Did I do anything interesting? I went and had a board game night with some friends about 2 weeks ago, I think. And other than that, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring and working. It's really about it.
I feel like that's what the majority of the people I know have been doing is working and just playing Elden Ring.
It's really good.
Yeah, I haven't heard any bad things. I'm gonna turn that down just a tad because that music comes in a bit heavy. However, Mevara, how has your couple weeks been?
It's been great. I was traveling for work and then for fun. Got to see just Stalin in person, and then as well as like other family and friends. And then we had like a family friend coming to visit as a surprise last week. We actually just left this morning, so just been like spending a lot of time with like loved ones. It's been super nice. I'm tired as hell though.
Yeah, I could see that though. After all that traveling and stuff, once you're back home, you kind of have to reset a little bit. Cryptilly, how was your past couple weeks?
Yeah, everything's been pretty good. Like they reiterated, good to hang out with my boy. Just stalling briefly, but it was a goodie. We went and did some fun things up in the Atlanta way. Got back, got surprised by y'all mofos. But it was great. My brother came down to visit. We spent the week together. It was good.
So yeah, that was one of the reasons. Well, I mean, one of the main reasons. Another one was kind of a surprise, but canceled the game in order for Cryptilly to hang out with his brother. I was even gonna go as far as asking you, Crix, to just say that you had to work, so it seemed even more or even less suspicious. But I couldn't get a hold of you. That's why I texted you that day, and I was like, "Are you alive?"
Oh,
But just like I said, just to make it less suspicious, is then nothing would be popping into Cryptilli's mind if Crix was just like, "Hey guys, I gotta work." Yeah,
it's true. Sometimes I gotta work.
it would have worked out great. No pun intended. But
Yeah.
I'm glad each of you had a good couple weeks, got to do a bunch of activities. I'm gonna punish the three of you though for not letting me know that Just Olin had come into town. It feels bad.
Oh no,
No, no, we were in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. I
The
was gonna say
opposite.
that's pretty
Yeah,
messed up.
yeah, that would have been so messed up.
Oh, okay. I feel much better now.
yeah, we would
uh,
have had to do an in-person game.
that would be fun.
Oh, that would be dope.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
Goals.
I'm planning on getting some in-person games going again. Or I say some, but I mean just like one. But that's just because I enjoy having the company and playing, all at the same table. To me, it's just much more like intimate. Get people more into it.
Facts.
But all in time. Before we get into tonight's story, of course, we will go over a little bit of a recap. Again, I know it's been a while, but that seems to kind of be the theme for a while we get towards, the later sides of these sessions now that we've been playing in this party for, I think, over a year. Not every week, of course, but, overall it's been over a year. So, but with that said, I feel like you guys have had enough training in the past couple of sessions to remember what happened almost a month ago. So, whoever would like to take the lead on that, feel free and get that sweet extra bonus experience.
I remember the short version of it, which is basically Ada killed a man, and our good friend Pinehand has a demon in him. But that's pretty broad strokes.
Pretty broad strokes, but actually, like, pretty much a lot of the action that happened. We try to, like, question Pinehand, but he doesn't really seem to know much about the demon. We find out later it's a demon. And then when we get back, we find, like, I think when we wake up, we find Ada, like, beaten to a pulp in the morning. And then there's, like, a confrontation. We learn that Malone had beat Ada up because of the guards that Ada had lent us and that passed away. So, Pinehand, that's when we find out because he gets really mad. But that's Pinehand, like, erupts into flames and, like, bathes Malone in flames until he tells the truth. And then Ada shoots him in the head, I believe.
Or as I remember, he definitely got shot in the head by Ada.
That is a fact.
And we were talking about maybe keeping Pinehand with us until we can get rid of his demon. But also, maybe not getting rid of his demon until after the Stokeland Mountains.
Because fire.
Yeah, we want to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Oh, we also sent a message to Dad. He didn't really tell us much anything other than to solve the problems. Or seek the source? I think that was the exact words.
As just little bits of touch-ups, I'm keeping track of like what you guys are pointing out, but just because it had been a little while, the message was actually sent to Ohan the Wise, and there were a lot of questions for one message, especially especially answering those, they were a bit quick. But that may give a little bit more of a sense of clarity, but it may not as well. It just depends on how you take that information, I suppose. Do you all have anything else? Anything else that you'd like to add to your recap?
I believe there's some kind of tie in between Lord Vieric and Pinehand, but I'm not too sure about that. But there's someone Pine Hand is supposed to be saving. I think we were wondering if it could have been Varric.
We think he saw Vieric in a dream because he
That's what it
mentioned
was. Okay.
an elf with two colored eyes, and it fit our brother's description pretty well.
Mm,
But then he went and made a pact with a demon or something.
Okay. So let us get into tonight's story with this. As we continue our adventure on the day of June 13th, year 1101, just as your conversation with Ada and Pinehand has concluded, Pinehand, looking a bit worried about after finding out he is possessed by a demon and nearly killing Malone. Pinehand is, however, still dripping from the water Crix had splashed upon him to cool him, attempting to break the fever, the sweat that was absorbing upon his cloak. A pool of water has already begun collecting at his feet. Ada looks to the rest of you and says, well, I think it's time that I take my rightful place. And with the amount of destruction that has occurred here, I believe it best for us to make our way towards Blight.
Do you feel it's safe enough to make that journey in these times?
I feel as if we've traveled with the rest that are here. We have enough guards to protect those in town. We should have enough to protect them while we maneuver about. I think it best that we go the long way, avoid dire frost at all cost.
That is probably smart.
Well, shall we?
Where was it we were headed again?
As far as it stood, with each of your plan, each of you had kind of decided to rest for the rest of the day and travel to Baragama. But this is, I don't know if it'll make a difference to each of you, but this is where Ada is going to take the people of Belkarth, go up the road to Genesis, and take the rest of his people that remain up all the way to Blight.
Do you think we should offer our aid and protection to them to make sure they make it?
We could, and then we could peel off before they head right to Blight and head to do what we need to do.
Well, ultimately, it is your decision.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if we plan to go north or do we still want to go to Baragama. Or we're trying to find the source, which we believe is to the north somewhere.
I thought we were trying to head north to deal with, like, the big bads. But my thought about going to Baragama was to try to get some fire or some magic or something, but we got that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm fine with not going to Baragama right now. So we could just peel off at Genesis or near Blight and head into the mountains.
So escort Ada part of the way and then pull off straight north.
Well, we don't need to escort them. It's going to slow us down considerably since they don't have dog sleds.
Oh, the dog is true.
So I suggest we just head, slightly northeast till we get a good ways away from dire frost and then head north.
Do you really think they'll make it without our protection? You saw how easily those other guards went down.
True. All right, brother. If you think it's a good idea, let's do it.
I would just hate to lose an entire village over something, like that.
True enough. Any objections?
Nope, I'm all for escorting them, at least through Barra Ford.
Sister?
Whatever you say, my liege.
All right, it's settled. Let's accompany them on their journey and make sure they arrive safely. At least to Gnesis.
Well, if that's what each of you will do, then I shall go inform everyone. I will send the guards out to have everyone meet in the town square for an announcement later this evening.
Well, sounds like we have some time to kill.
Ada will excuse himself and then begin to make his way out the door. And before as he opens, he turns back to each of you before making his way out and says, "Please make yourselves at home if that's what you wish." And then continues on his way out. After he does, each of you hear a bit of a clearing of the throat. uh, I, I'm not sure I really follow this plan. Didn't you all say previously that I was to be taken away from them to not cause them any harm?
I think the danger they'll face on the way to Genesis will outweigh the danger you pose on them for a short time, in my humble opinion.
But from what Creptilia said, that I was... It is me? Kind of like gesturing towards his body.
Yes. I think, as a precaution, it'd be okay if we kept you away from the main group. Maybe we could travel a few hundred yards ahead.
And don't worry, I'll be right by your side. If you lose control again, I'll be there.
Well, you already have a hand, and I guess it's no harm to add a head to your collection as well to carry about.
I don't want to have to kill you, so you need to keep yourself calm.
Well, I will need to be getting changed out of these clothes. Thankfully, we're not leaving till the morning. If we were to leave now, I'd probably freeze to death.
Yes, perhaps you can find some clothing here from Ada's closet. I'm sure he'd be happy.
Are all my belongings, clothing, everything gone from the manor as well?
Oh, true. No, I don't know.
Oh, you worried me. I will see if any of my clothing is still left about. Fingers crossed.
Who shall accompany him? Sorry.
Oh, of course I'm going with him.
Yes, I think I'd have far too much fun with him.
Better safe than sorry.
Alright, so Crix escorts Pine Hand back to his manor. And for, I guess, just like a little bit of time's sake, is there anything that each of you would like to do for the rest of the day, with the plan still be to just leaving towards Baragama in the morning?
I think I'd like to take the cats and perhaps a partner if anyone's willing on a hunt. Stock up some food.
I'll
I-
go stretch my legs a bit.
I'd like to try and replenish at least the one firebomb I used with my afternoon. Maybe make a couple more if I have time.
Okay.
Yep, and I'd like to go to the temple if Belcarf has one.
Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure they do. Okay, so can I get a survival check from Mavara and also just Stalin? And I will need a. Let's give me an intelligence check, Crix. Oh no, I was wrong. There is not a temple here. Okay, Crix. You'll be able to get one of those done this afternoon. Not having the. Well, I guess. Let me ask this first. Uh, Cryptilli, after going about noticing that there's not a temple here, do you have a change of plans, or are you gonna do randomness?
Um, no, I'll pretty much I'll just go back, noticing that there's not a temple. Um, do my short little prayers that I wanted to do inside, or yeah, I'll just do it inside the place that we're sleeping. Um, and just continue to ask for guidance. And then if I see Crix is messing with shenanigans, I'll assist him.
Plant two bombs.
Okay. So, go ahead and give me an intelligence roll there, Cryptilli. And where are you going hunting, May and Justalin? About which parts?
Not too far, but just south of Buckhearth.
Okay.
I'm taking the snow leopards with me, the panthers.
May, Justalin, as each of you go out with, I almost said Little May, but that's not it. Kitty and Nix. The Panthers are pouncing around, kind of being playful with one another, and with a little bit of like a shh, you're able to calm them, May, keeping them more in a alert state while you're trying to do some hunting. However, the only thing that you find is that it is very quiet, super peaceful, but unfortunately, you don't find any tracks or any signs of life in the area.
Well, should we at least head back to see if we can purchase any preserved foods to aid our journey?
That's all we can do. We'll definitely need to feed the dogs.
Cricks are able to get one of your Molotov cocktails put back together.
Okay, sounds good to me. That just puts me at the 5 I used to have.
While Crix, Cryptilly, and Pinehand are all hanging out at Sakun Manor, Mayvara and Justalin, after a couple of hours have passed, you'll notice that the sun is just now beginning to make its way down, and there's plenty of time left in the day. And as you're making your way up, you see Ada maneuvering, making his way towards Sakun Manor. He seems to be walking with quite the intent. Without even really seeming to notice, he immediately beats on the manor door. Crix, Cryptilly, and Pinehand all hear this inside.
I'll go open the door.
As you open the door, Crix, all of you do notice Ada outstretches hand. Crix, as you look down, you're the only one that notices a piece of parchment clutched in his palm.
What's that, Ada?
This was found on Malone's belongings.
What is it?
I think you should read it. But it seems to give more of Malone's intent. With each moment that passes, I feel less guilty about what I've done.
I'll take it from him and I'll read it out loud.
As you begin to read it out loud, May, just Stalin, you've closed in, and Ada will kind of notice you from over his shoulder, giving you a respective bow, and each of you begin to hear Crix. I, Malone, pledge the people of Belkarth and submit to the will of the North. And you're not exactly sure what the rest says, but, Crix, what languages do you know?
Common, Elvish, and what was the other one? I think it was Dwarven.
Okay, I did want to double check, but I was pretty sure I was right. There's more written, but you have no idea what it says. It looks quite a bit like scribble.
I'll show it to Cryptilly and see if she can read it. I know she's a little bit more learned than me in some ways.
Then I'll try to read it.
Alright, let me pull up your character sheet. Actually, I'll just let you tell me. What languages do you know?
Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Giant.
As you read it out, as it is written in Giant, there's a few words that you don't quite understand, but you do get the major gist of it. And it says, "The old ones walk again."
And I'll relay that to crickets. I'll go, maybe this handwriting's sloppy or my giant's a little rusty. Who knows? But I'll tell them what it says. The old one is walking again.
That's likely referring to the ice giants that have something to do with the mist. If I had to guess. Either way, it's troubling.
Agreed.
You definitely did the right thing by killing that man, Ada. That's why you can't let behavior like that fester for so long. That could have gotten much worse.
was foolish. I thought he meant the best, but it just seems that he planned to hand these people over. He lets out like a bit of a sigh.
I'll tell him, keep your head up and trust in yourself. You can make these decisions, or you can continue to be weak.
He's already made his decision about being weak, sister.
Well, he's learning.
Well, if what was written is true, and the old ones do walk again, if that means the ice giants from old, then the state of this of Zidane is much worse off than I had imagined.
Yeah, it's about as bad as we told you it was.
To be honest, I did figure a bit of maybe over an embellishment, and not necessarily having the most worldly of experience. We've all only seen so much. But do with this what you need. I'm going to begin to gather the people.
And we're leaving in the morning, correct?
Yes, but everyone will need time to prepare. Pack any sort of belongings they wish to take. It'll be a long trek around. But regardless if each of you come with us or not, I find it best to go around to the south and then back up towards Genesis. We already know Direfrost to be fighting for the north. There's no reason to get close to their borders. Risk an all-out brawl.
Do you feel you have enough guards to protect your people?
He nods. I will be stepping up as well.
Alright. We'll go. Keep preparing.
Gives each of you a little bit of a nod, bows, salutes, and then makes his way back out. Pine Hand and pipes up. Pheesh. After taking a man's life, then he seems that he's all grown up.
Resolve is definitely there now, as it seems.
If only it were that easy for all. Crix, I must say that whatever you're putting together there is quite fascinating. How does it exactly work?
Well, I mean, it's really rather simple. You put a flammable concoction in the bottle, and then you light the fabric, which is in itself flammable, and then you throw it at a target, and the bottle breaks, and the flaming rags on the outside ignite the flammable liquid on that is now outside of the bottle, lighting whatever it hits on fire.
So as long as the rag isn't lit, then if something were to happen to the bottles, we'd be fine, right?
Yes, you could also throw the bottle without it being lit and then attack with fire and light it on fire.
Hmm.
There are multiple ways to use this invention of mine.
Just don't play with it inside.
No, you'd burn your house down quite easily.
Hopefully, it would get rid of the smell.
Creeptilia let out a small chuckle.
I think it's funny that we said it's dangerous to play with these inside your house, and we made it inside his house.
Exactly.
May and Jason, each of you are going to go try to acquire some dried meats, correct?
Yeah, if there's still like a market happening.
Yes, you do know that Ada will be going out to tell everyone to begin to pack it up quite soon. So, getting this done now seems to be the best decision.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go to like whoever's selling food, especially if it's like preserved meats, and just ask them, knowing like, hey, I know times are tough, but whatever you can spare, I'd like to buy and pay handsomely.
Not too handsomely.
Each of you can roll me an investigation check. Or Mayvara can do it at advantage. Each of your, you can make the decision.
I got a +5.
I have +0, so you have at that.
Dang.
After a bit of looking around, you do notice that there are a couple of vendors with like bits of scraps, but there's not merely enough to be taken from for any sort of nutrients. However, you do find a lucky vendor that has 5 pounds that might be worth your taking.
Hello there. Tell me, what do you have for sale?
Well, not much. Got little bits, scraps, things right here. He holds up like a stick that's all twisted. This is a wand.
A wand?
He like starts whipping it, like swinging it in place and just going shoo, 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 shoo. See? Magic.
Wow, incredible. What else have you got for sale? Something smaller, perhaps?
Got a little bit of meat left. Points over towards like what appears to be like a chest, and you can see that there's some dried meats.
What kind of meat is it?
Shrugs. Said it was deer.
Who said? Where'd you get it?
Got it from the trader that comes.
Can I sample a piece of it?
Sure.
And I'd like to, through smell and like touch and stuff, see if I recognize it as deer meat.
Yeah, definitely check it out first.
You smell it. It doesn't smell like deer meat. Give it like a little bit of a taste. Doesn't taste like deer meat.
Well,
It's definitely gamey, but it's not venison.
Tell me more about this trader. And I turn to Justalin and I say, it's not venison, but at least we can feed the dogs.
As long as it's not elf.
Oh, looked a bit hazy. Crunched. Like hunched over. I don't know. Smelled real bad, too.
And he was here recently?
Oh, it's been a while. That's why these ones just had to stay dried.
Huh. Alright. Well, let's see. How much for this mystery meat, which we know is not venison,
Mystery stick.
and for this wand?
20 gold.
Now, come on. We didn't see any magic from this wand. How do we know it's not just a stick?
It's invisible.
And what effect does it have?
I don't know. It sounds different when I do it. When the trader had it, it was like, rah! Sounded much deeper.
Were there like lights and colors and things that happened around you?
And I didn't see anything.
Can I see it?
Invisible.
Can I see it? And
Sure.
May hold up her hands.
Hands it
Can
to you.
only Cryptilla use detect magic in our party?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a spell.
Doesn't that staff have detect magic, or is it dispel magic on it?
Dispel.
But I want to just like inspect it if I can.
Go ahead and give me an investigation. Check, and we shall see. I mean, it feels pretty firm, but looking it over, you don't see any like indentation, runes, engravings, nothing.
And like, sorry, not to. What's a normal price for meat?
What's the last bit left? Well, normally just like a gold, perhaps two, for a few pounds. Look, like if I get rid of this, like I only got bits of berries and things to eat until the next trader gets in.
You've been eating this?
Now I feel like I shouldn't tell you I have.
I was just wondering. Because you seem in good health, you know?
Really? Gives like a bit of a
Relatively.
smile.
Help, perhaps. I'm not sure about his
But
mental.
what do you say, brother?
Well, we do have a good bit of gold. I would rather haggle it down a bit, though. 20's pretty steep. Of course,
What do
we'll
you say
split it.
to 15, good sir?
For the meat and the wand?
Yes.
Meat and wine.
19. You keep saying that it's not venison, but you really want it.
Yes, well, we have a large number of dogs that we need to feed. And so the dogs are less discerning than we are.
What are doogs?
They're a creature, not unlike, well, not unlike a wolf. You know, a
Then why do
wolf?
you not eat them?
Oh, because they're helpful to us. It's kind of a long story, and I honestly think you'll see tomorrow.
Wolf not helpful.
True, but dogs are helpful. You can think of dogs like a nice wolf.
Dog
Anyways,
nice wolf, so dog bad meat.
yes.
Okay, I trade you meat for the dogs.
Okay, no, sorry. Look, I'll give you
Nope, that deal.
17. Huh?
What?
Look, I'll give you 17 gold for both. That's the final offer.
22
That's
gold.
quite generous.
Okay, how about here's your original 20 gold, and let's end this.
Deal.
Okay, and I promise I'll show you our dogs tomorrow.
Put you in my 10.
You're gonna put in 10?
Yep.
Sweet.
No, they can't, Cryptilly. You're not there.
But I just want to know.
Nope. Hands you over the wand. Hands you the rest of the meat. You exchange it for 20 gold. 10 apiece minus from each of your character sheets. And then you can begin to make your way back to the manor, if you so wish.
Perfect. Thank you, good sir. See you tomorrow.
Bye!
As we're walking away, I just muttered to Justin, well, damn, that went sideways.
The wand better work, or we're gonna get a pine hand and maybe do an interrogate.
Hopefully,
Let them loose.
hopefully Creep can make some sense of this stick. It better be magic or I'm gonna be mad.
Well, we're traveling with him, so the same.
Anyways, I feel good. We took the last of his meat, whatever it is. So, I don't mind giving him being slightly overly generous.
Yeah, guess we can test it out with the dogs when we get back. They like it.
Alright. So within a few moments' time, May, Justin, you make it back to the manor, make your way inside, and you still see Pinehand looking just fascinated at the work that Crix and Cryptilli have done making these fire weapons. And as each of you make your way in, he stands and gives you both a pleasant greeting. Well, any luck?
Well, we got some meat, which we don't know what it is, but we know for certain it's not venison. We figured we could feed it to the dogs.
Oh, good.
And we purchased this, well, show them, brother.
I'll pull it out. Hey, Creep, you should definitely check this out. We want to see if it's worth our while. It's supposed to be a wand, as the seller said.
It does look
Wait,
like a stick.
how much gold do you all carry on you? That can't be safe.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that much gold, and man was selling the last of his food stores, so we were generous. But we're all right. We can take care of ourselves. Don't worry about it.
Well, what does it do?
I'm pretty sure it's just a stick, but please, Cryptilli, check it out.
I guess. Then I'll take a look at it. Mm.
Begin casting detect magic.
Yeah, I'll ritual cast detect magic.
Each of you just wait with a bit of anticipation.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
After 10 minutes passes, uh, Creptilli, you pick up magic from the weapons that most of you are carrying. Little bits of all different types of schools are remaining around your siblings, but nothing from this stick.
I'll take the stick and I'll go, oh, and pew.
Fine
I
hand.
think it.
What did you do?
Honestly, I think it's just a stick.
Well, we can add it to the fire tonight.
Damn.
Well, damn.
Sometimes that's just how it goes.
I'd hold the stick and I give it the pine hand. I say, is this pine?
He holds up his hand towards you and says, "If I could move these fingers, I'd be flicking you off right now."
I'll allow it, and I'll give him a slight chuckle.
Would allow it. Yeah.
Thought you were gonna give it to him and say, like, "Look, you can attach this as like a new weapon or something." Poke people with
Replacement
it.
hand.
So with each of you having, well, I am guessing here, with nothing else that you'd like to accomplish, uh, just move on till the next morning.
Yep, making sure to put Pine Hand in the basement overnight, like before.
Yeah, I get it. As he makes his way down, not resisting whatsoever.
Cool. Sleep tight, buddy.
Okay. So as we move into the morning of June 14th, each of you begin getting your belongings together in preparation for the journey ahead. As you all make your way out to go grab the dogs to hook them up to the dog sled, you can see that a great, great, great number of people have already gathered in the town square, each seeming with all of their belongings carried upon their back. Ada stands near the outside, standing on top of the gallows so you can overlook the area, and there are nearly 24 guards with him looking about the crowd as well.
How large would you say this crowd is?
From the people of Belkarth, not counting the guards or Ada, there looks to be roughly 30, 35 people.
Okay.
As each of you continue on, you do see Ada take out a sword, hold it up, and tilt it in your direction, acknowledging each of your presence before sheathing it and then looking back over the crowd, telling guards something, presumably orders, as the guard breaks away from the gallows. However, getting your dogs, getting them hooked back up to the sleds and everything ready to go, it takes you just a few moments. It's something you've done almost nearly every day since leaving Blight. I think maybe in total only a week in time has passed, probably, where you didn't set up the sleds. But as you see more and more people begin to gather in the town square, it seems that for every 10 people that begin to gather, about 2 guards gather along the gallows as well. Well, what do we do?
Try to teach Pine Hand about how to ride the sled.
So I just sit here and hold on?
Yes, you can sit, or you can stand. Either way. But you just hold on. We've gotten pretty good at driving these things, and the dogs are well trained.
Hmm. I think I'm gonna sit. How am I supposed to even stand here and balance and be clutching on, not fall into the snow?
Well, you stand and bend your knees, but it's all right. Go ahead and take a seat.
Takes a seat on the sled and he goes, can you show me like how it works?
It's pretty simple, actually. The dogs are trained to run. We have voice commands for them, and they pull the sled. You know, just like a sled you would ride down a hill when you were a kid.
Just like looks at you with a bit of confusion on his face, and I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's not quite like what Crix and Cryptilia have done, but I guess this can be helpful.
You get used to it.
Are we gonna ride around a bit, or am I just gonna figure this out when we leave?
Well, we don't like to tire the dogs if we don't need to. So just sit tight and you'll get used to it, I promise.
Continues to sit there, just like clutching on to some of the belongings. Ready when you are.
Well, are we ready? And May's gonna look around to her siblings.
At your command.
How are we divvied up?
Well, you drive one sled and I drive the other sled generally, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know that I drive one sled.
I mean, yes, both of you drive, and then it just depends on who is. I mean, I imagine Pinehand being with Crix, since Crix is the one who's been mainly keeping an eye on him.
Yes, and since your sled has some additional weight, we can move any of the anything you're storing onto ours, even out the weight as much as we can.
I wonder if some of us should be walking, because I'm guessing we're going at walking speed regardless, since we're guarding the villagers. That'll be less weight on the dogs. So if that works, I'll just walk.
True enough, but we want to get a bit of a head start so that we have some distance just in case. And I nod towards Pinehand.
Think of us as a vanguard. We're gonna go find any trouble along the way before they get to it.
Scouting it out.
Not too far ahead, but far enough that, we can clean up any problems before they arrive at that area.
I'll jump on with Crix and Pinehand. I'll be a little less heavy. I know Crix has his armor on, so
All right, well, let's get on with it.
By the way, Pinehand's sitting in front of you.
Yep. Or in front of you.
In front of just Stalin.
in the middle.
Yeah, I don't really want him having, easy access to your neck or your back or anything. Not that I don't trust him. He's
Much
just got a
appreciated.
demon in him.
Strangle, strangle, strangle.
I just punch him in the back of the head while I'm driving. No strangling.
So, with everyone situated, you begin to make your way around. Look at Ada. He gives you a bit of a nod, understanding that each of you are going to take off ahead. He gives a shout. Only a few more to arrive, then we will be heading south. See you in Baragama. Then each of you can begin to make your way towards the south. So as soon as you all begin to pick up even just the slightest bit of speed, Crix, just Stalin, your ears begin to ring as Pinehand is just letting out screams of pure terror. In between gasp of breath, you just hear, "Too fast! Too fast!"
Calm down, you'll spook the dogs.
Yeah, we could probably ease up a bit. He'll start spooking me too.
Cryptilly, May, you both hear something as well, but with the wind whipping, it's just like muffled sounds meeting your ears.
I slow down to let Crix's sled catch up with ours.
Crix, just Stalin, can you give me an insight check? Just Stalin, while you're able to tell that this is like pure truth, like he is completely scared, you feel that it's like a little over the top, because as soon as the dogs came out of like a walk and became into a trot, he pretty much started freaking out.
Sounds like he's gonna freak out regardless. Just don't want his strong emotions to trigger the demon again. So
Do we need to gag him to keep him calm?
Well, I don't think that'll help anybody. How far away are we from the townspeople?
Not even like 100 yards. Like you've gotten some distance, but with him kind of freaking out after like a couple of moments, you guys started to slow your pace.
Let's just slow down a little bit. Pinehand, you have to trust us. Take some deep breaths. Calm down.
wish we had some type of calming spell.
Or a sleep spell. Just put him to sleep when we're not using him.
Right. I can give him a shot, maybe. That might help.
It's fine. He can control it, right, Pinehand? Just relax. We're slowing down.
Oh gods! Oh gods! Oh, you guys are all staring.
These things are perfectly safe. We've literally circled the kingdom in them. Going much faster than that.
You'll get used to it, promise.
I haven't been on anything that's traveled that fast. Just start out a bit slower. Let me build up to it.
It's pretty incredible, though, right?
Terrifying.
Alright, well, why don't you sit back, relax, and we'll drive a little bit slower.
Alright. So slowing down your pace. As each of you begin to like make their way through the day, checking back, you see Pinehand becoming a little bit more accepting of the speed, but still wanting to not get too far ahead of the people of Belkarth. You can see them all making their way out of town, and about 500 yards in your path to the north. But with keeping a bit of a slower pace, quite a bit less ground is covered. And before you know it, the sun is beginning to set. You see the group behind seems to have stopped. People begin preparing the camp for the evening.
Well, we should probably set up camp of our own then.
Yeah, too far away from them.
Sorry, they're already setting up camp?
Well, I think we traveled through the whole day.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, should we, make camp a little closer?
My suggestion would be within 200 to 300 yards.
Let's bring it back a little then.
That sounds good to me too.
Alright. Trailing back just a little bit to be within a more comfortable earshot. The wind seems to be picking up the closer it gets to night, as snow begins to fall ever so gently towards the ground. You set up camp with no issue, with a bit of time left, leaving yourself to go hunt if you wish, before getting rest and some sleep for the night, if that's what you all want to call it.
I believe so.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Pine Hand helps with what he can, setting up camp, and then holds up the stick that each of you had purchased, and he says, "Should we just burn it then?"
Unless you think you can get it to work.
If not, I recommend burning the tip of it first. Nothing happens, toss it in the fire.
Sets it back down. Well, if that's the case, then I don't even think I want to touch it.
So I'll get up and try it.
Nothing seems to happen. The tip of the stick catches the flame and then kind of burns out as you hold it up and more into the wind.
Figures.
Well, sister, shall we go for a hunt?
Might as well. Let's not go very far, though.
Sounds good. And I'll start cracking my chill touch.
Each of you traveling together?
Yes, along with the Panthers.
Got it. Can I go ahead and get 2 survival checks, please? While going about, Nyx kind of picks up what seems to be a scent. Cryptilli is quick to notice that there are hoof tracks in the snow, but nothing seems to be around the immediate area. Something has scampered away.
I point the tracks out to Creep Tilly and sort of like, put my finger over my mouth, like, shh, and try to follow the tracks. Definitely deer tracks.
Yeah, you're fairly certain.
Well, I think I should be able to tell how many they are and how soon they passed or something.
One, and it hasn't been too long, no more than an hour.
Hell yeah, try to follow the tracks.
And I'll keep my eye to make sure that we don't go too far too late.
Following the tracks east, a little bit more towards the depths of the Barrow Forest, each of you begin to hear the howls of the wolves prowling around. Following the tracks, going on and on. Eventually, as you look out, the tracks just lead into the darkness of the Barrow Forest. You wish to continue?
I turn to Creep Tilly and I whisper, "What do you think?"
How much sunlight do we have left?
Maybe 30 minutes.
No, let's head back. It's late enough already.
Yes. We're not yet that desperate for food. And remember, sister, I still have my mayonnaise if you need it.
Right, right. Well, was a lovely evening for a hunt, anyways.
Next time I'll try not to slow you down. Let's head back.
Making your way back to camp, empty-handed, you see just Stalin kind of messing around with the stick, poking it into the fire, letting it burn out, kind of just playing, entertaining himself. Crix looks on, maybe a bit worried, I'd guess.
A little bit. It could be magic.
Pine Hand is a safe like 10 yards away. And you just hear him go, "If that thing explodes, I think this is far enough, right?"
Who
Sure.
knows?
Takes a couple more steps back. You gonna continue to play around with the stick, just on?
Yeah, throw it in the fire and step away from the fire. Probably gather some more wood around the perimeter.
As it starts to become encased in fire, see it growing and glowing this bright color, and you hear a couple snaps and pops. And eventually, it darkens a little bit, resting with the rest of the embers.
And merchant.
However, as each of you get ready for your night's rest, um, going through your watch, taking things as normal, is there anything else you'd like to do before we move on?
I'm good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, same here.
Good.
Cryptilli, can you read out your languages again one more time, please?
Celestial, common, elvish, and giant.
I'm good. So, as everyone gets their rest for the evening, Cryptilli, during your watch, as the wind continues to whip, you hear strange sounds coming from the tent. That same sentence over and over again.
And then can I make that out one more time?
Now, you have no idea what it says, but I'll type it in chat.
Yeah, no idea what it means, but I just wanted to hear, like, make sure I heard what he was saying.
You gotta put it in chat for you.
Perfect. Um, with that, since I'm still awake, I'll say my prayers in my head. um, and I'll ask for more guidance in dealing with this demon.
And with that, we'll go ahead and take our break. Oh, get back to it. About 5 minutes. And
Sounds
continue
good.
on our story.
Back in 5.
Back in five.
So we're back. As we hit the morning hours of June 15th, each of you begin to rise. Pine Hand gives a nice stretch. Well, I must say, even though outside is quite much better than I did when in the basement. From the looks of it, we didn't have too much trouble.
Nope, it was a quiet night.
Oh, so how do each of you take care of your morning when on the road?
Well, we feed the dogs and we eat, and then we pack up.
Nods. Very well. Just Stalin. Can you give me a con save, please? You feel a sharp pain in your mind, and you hear a voice that you haven't heard in quite a long time. Goes in and out, but you are able to make out that it is Nuvian. You're unable to make out any of the words, though. You just get like, "Phew! Yeah! Me!"
That was odd. And I'll tell the others.
Oh, hold on. There's more, buddy.
Ooh, lucky me.
As you come to, you're facing due north. You open your eyes, and you begin to see black clouds heading in, making their way north. The wind blowing west, however, these clouds still moving north. As they get closer, they seem to grow darker, emitting flashing lights of white, and soon the ground beneath you begins to tremble. Makes your knees a little weak. You almost buckle down to the ground. As you kind of wobble in place, you see a flash coming from the north, and then a plume of green mist. It's miles and miles and miles away from you. However, it's producing so much from the north that you're able to still see it from your location.
I was jotting all that down. Trying to, at least.
As the rest of you look around, you're going about your morning as normal. You see Just Stalin kind of like drift off into like this daydream-like state, kind of like shuffle around a little bit, then begins to maneuver in towards the northern direction. Then it looks as if he's doing like this weird dance, as if he just kind of flails around a little bit, and then kind of holds that attention before turning to each of you.
What is it?
And then I would tell them all of that to the best of my ability, based on my memory.
Can we see anything to the north beyond Justalin?
Oh yes, as he points it out, there's this huge plume of green mist just piling into the air and then drifting out in what seems to be all directions.
I'm not going completely crazy.
The mist. What do we do?
Suppose that's the source, is it not?
It would appear that way.
Pine Hand speaks up. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm leaving.
No, you're coming with us wherever we go.
Yeah, we're all leaving. Going north.
Belkarth had ships. We can just go.
What about your family?
I was unable to make it, and they've been gone for a few weeks. And they have to be in Blight, but by ship has to be faster.
I don't know what to do, sister.
Same.
You hear quite a bit of a commotion beginning to come from where the people of Belkarth have set camp for the night.
Well, if the mist hits us, what's our plan?
Have a spill, but that's after the fact. I don't think it would do us much good. Well, the staff has the spill.
We might have to intercept the mist.
All right.
How
Let's
do we
get
do
on.
that?
Well, let's get on the sleds, inform Ada of our plan, and tell them to continue south.
We'll go north.
I think so.
After you get your sleds packed up, you quickly close the gap to where Ada is. He trots out, like trudging through the snow. You hear like the crunch of the snow beneath his feet. You all can see that, right?
Yes. We're gonna try to intercept it, but you continue on south with your people.
Stay far from it.
I'm not sure what each of you plan to do, but be safe. If we don't see you, we'll get the people from Baragama to safety.
Good. May shakes his hand, gives him a pat on the shoulder.
Gives you a nod.
Been a pleasure.
Don't worry, Ada. We're gonna do everything we can to ensure everybody's safety.
And we take off.
Just as you begin to take off, you hear Pine Hand say, "Can I just stay with the?" And then you guys just go, and he starts to immediately scream again.
Pine Hand, lay down, close your eyes, and take deep breaths.
Think of it as fun, not scary.
I don't know how helpful that is, Crix.
Well, he doesn't have a choice. We're going.
So moving at a bit of a quicker pace, not having to keep in range, and not really seeming to care whether or not Pine Hand is in pure terror or if he's just being over dramatic, you all continue to make your way north. As you get to near midday, you've already passed Belkarth and made quite the distance. However, the green mist seems not even a touch closer. But, however, you all are having to seem to cover a large distance.
onward, and I try to guide us more towards the east so that we don't pass that closely to Direfrost.
Got it. So as you progress, keep moving and moving, you feel as if you're finally starting to make a bit of headway. The mist seems to be getting closer, but even after a day of travel at this rate, it seems to be perhaps 3, maybe 2 days away.
It's a lot further away than it appeared. I guess it really is just that big.
True, but this was our plan after all, so I say onward, don't you think?
What exactly is the plan?
Pinehand speaks up. That's what I'm wondering. You keep saying intercept as if, like, do you have, like, a jar that you can put it in?
Something's making the mist. We're gonna kill that something. That's about the whole plan. Am I right, sister?
That's about it. Except we do know that the source is in the Stokeland Mountains, so perhaps Pinehand has a point, and we should try to navigate around the mist.
Last time we tried that, it just chased us, though.
True enough. At least we're heading towards it intentionally this time.
How do what do you have to combat the mist this time? So it's not to take us over?
Grit and determination?
Plus the staff Justalin has from Nubian, I believe.
As long as one of us doesn't go under the spell of the fog, as long as somebody can use it. That's worst case scenario.
So yeah, pretty much an airtight plan.
Any suggestions, sister?
Great.
I'm wondering if it might be better just to continue on to Blight.
I
As they haven't fallen yet, and I'm sure the fog has been there.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we got a message from Blight that told us to not come there and go straight to the Stokeland Mountains.
Ah, fair. She did tell us to go to the source. Stokeland Mountains, dragons, ice giants. Okay.
Maybe we're more prepared than we think we are? Or sound at the very least?
Or feel.
Well, Pinehand, I guess you're in for quite a ride.
See, gets up from the sled, looking around. I guess this is a bit as good a place as any to make camp for the night then, right? I'm going to be traveling with you for a few days. Perhaps I can whip up something a bit tastier than just this dried meat.
That'd be wonderful.
But I really like just Stalin's cooking.
Take pride in it.
I'll take a very, very short lap around our campsite with the kitties to see if I can forage anything or hunt anything.
You're able to find a few wild berries and some blueberries quite easily.
Just try to make sure dinner isn't a flop.
Yep. I give them to just Stalin to do with what he wants for our dinner.
Does anyone have anything else they'd like to do?
Just all my normal stuff.
Got it. So, as we continue through the night, May, this time during your watch, you're able to hear the same thing coming from the tent.
I rush in to investigate silently.
As you look in, it's easy to notice that Pinehand is the one speaking these words that you are unable to understand.
I shake him awake.
What is it? Are we under attack?
No, 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 calm down. You were mumbling in your sleep.
Sorry,
What were you dreaming about?
I don't recall.
Well, you were saying something like Nas Duke Nabar. Does that mean anything to you?
The journey begins.
What language is that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I know that.
Another mystery. Well, alright, go back to sleep. I'll finish my watch.
As soon as Pinehand falls back asleep, the same thing continues to happen. For about like another 30 minutes, then it ceases. It becomes the next watch.
I tell whoever's next, hey, like, Pinehand was mumbling in his sleep. I tell them that I woke them up and, blah, 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 all the stuff.
May, from my notes, actually, that is you're the last watch.
Oh,
So you can let everyone know as you wake them up.
yep. As I wake them up, I let them know.
And I'll say, ha, that's funny. He was doing that last night.
You didn't think to tell us?
I figured we'd have bigger things to worry about.
That's
All
a
right.
three.
Well, the journey certainly does begin, but I wonder what was making him say that, and in what language.
If it was my guess, it'd be the demon.
Right. Are we able to get a message to Ohand?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I can't remember. I honestly can't remember who communicated with her.
Um, I could, and it's at a great cost.
Mm. Well, I wondered if we could communicate about this demon to see if she knew him or it. But think about it, sister, and if you feel it's worth the cost, then, do it. I trust your judgment. Onward.
So on June 16th, I believe it is. Yes. No, I don't feel so sure. But I'm pretty sure. You all begin to head out the next morning, continuing a little bit to the northeast, making sure to give a wide berth to dire frost. Can each of you give me a perception check, please? So as each of you look out, um, you begin to see the green mist making its way towards you. While still fairly far away, you're able to make out that it seems to be moving in different directions. Some seems to be peeling off a bit more towards the southwest as a large mass is going southeast.
It looks like it's headed for Blight.
Does it look like there's a gap in between?
After a little bit of time keeping your eye on it, as it seems to begin to have forked, it also seems the middle begins to blanket downwards. It appears and looks almost like a waterfall.
And at this point, we can kind of see that it's coming from the Stokeland Mountains.
Yeah, it's draping over the Stokeland mountain range.
How long would it take us to get to Blight?
Well, you travel roughly 50-ish miles a day with the dog sleds, increasing your speed by essentially 2. Well, multiplied by 2. Um, so, I mean, rough estimate, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3, 4 days? 3?
We're exactly the same distance from the mountains. We might as well go for it. We're gonna get caught in this mist anyways.
I trust your judgment.
The source.
Any objections? Or ideas?
Do I have a vote?
You certainly have a voice, and I'm sure you have ideas. Tell me, what do you think?
Well, if that is able to control your minds, my only concern is what would happen to me if my mind is overcome. I won't be able to fight anything back, and well, if the demon arises, then I'm not sure what it would do.
I'd be willing to wager the demon's not going to let anything else take over your mind.
And honestly, I kind of like the fella.
I think this would be the only time that I would wish or hope that to be so.
It may not be safe to take you in there, but what we're doing in general isn't safe, so if it ends up that you go ballistic, we'll just hopefully be able to aim it in the right direction a bit. Pull you back from the edge eventually.
Gives you like a confident nod. And continuing on more to the north, keeping your eye on it, you're quite certain that this has forked, and it appears that the southwestern direction seems to be in the way of dire frost, while the southeast seems to in fact be heading towards Blight. However, the waterfall, the green mist that was draping down still almost directly to your north, seems to have ceased. Behind it, revealing clear skies, minus the dark clouds, still seeming to gather more and more around the Stokeland Mountain high point.
Looks like we might catch a break after all.
But as night begins to set in, you reach the base of what each of you all know to be the home of the Southern Knolls.
Alright, big dog. Time to shine.
There's no
Pretty
signs
clear
or
to us.
anything down at the base, but I mean, up towards the top of the mountain is where they lie.
Perhaps you should take first watch tonight. I don't know if you already plan to, just in case some gnolls come to investigate.
Of course.
If anybody comes, and I talk to my other siblings, they say if anybody comes towards camp in the night, just be sure to wake up Big Dog.
So, following your sister's advice there, Crix, it does seem to pay off as the night begins to set in and you begin your watch. A few moments later, you begin to hear rustling about the area. A rock falls, and you just hear above, "Shh! We not know what is."
Come out, show yourselves.
I know smell.
That's right, it's me.
Oh, you guys gone so long. Eventually, 3 gnolls begin to make their way out Some climbing down the cliffside, and then one coming out of the bushes.
How have things been since I left?
Good. Plenty
Good.
eat.
No one thinking about trying to become big dog?
No. Too much food since you became big dog.
Good. Happy to hear that.
Yeah, rabbits all leave food.
Got rabbits?
Not no more.
Has there been any big danger around lately?
Stink green stuff, but shrugs.
Have you been in the green stuff?
Nods. Yeah.
Oh, good, good. Okay. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear you were in it. Stinky, right?
Shakes his head up and down very violently, seemingly overly excited.
Good. Soon we're gonna make that stinky go away.
Make others go away, but not smell that bad.
I pull out the northern knoll fang that I took off of that northern knoll that I killed, and I show it to them.
Whoa.
Yeah, look what I got. Not so tough.
Big dog so strong.
Big dog strongest.
I miss these so much.
Me too.
When times were simpler.
Big dog is strong.
Big dog needs you three to do something for me. I need you to go back to the Knoll Village, or whatever it's called, Knoll Home, and let everybody know that Big Dog's coming tomorrow.
Okay, we make plenty feast.
Yes, yes. Clean up a little bit too. Make it look nice for Big Dog.
Okay.
We'll have big feast.
Now?
Well, I mean, finish whatever you were doing out here, but yes, head back and let them know that we're coming tomorrow.
Oh, we just smelled rabbit, so we were looking for rabbit. But we found big dog.
Yep, Big Dog is here.
You get rabbit?
Did we get any rabbits tonight?
Remember, rabbits are elves to them too.
Yeah, that's all very confusing, and I'm not trying to touch on that right now. I hope they're not
Yeah.
eating people.
They say, I thought they said rabbits left something. I hope they're
Oh,
not
the
eating.
rabbits left, so there's lots of food. All the elves left, so there's plenty of food for them to hunt. That's what they're saying.
Shit. Didn't think of it that way.
But
But
also,
like,
they're immune to the fog.
yeah, like the dogs were. That's a plus.
That's a huge plus. Big Dog's army is gonna come with us.
Hell
And
yeah.
straight.
Anywho, after I'm done talking with them, I'll pretty much just finish out the rest of my watch and then let the next watch know I made contact with the Knolls and that they're looking forward to seeing us tomorrow.
Okay. So, ooh, saw Discord kind of drop in and out. Can you guys still hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just see my connection dropping all the way down to like red.
Right now?
Yeah.
You sound perfect.
Well, thank you. I tried.
I meant your sound quality, but yes, also you.
So as each of you wake up the next morning, you inform Pinehand of the news, and he seems just completely mind blown that these gnolls are one, able to communicate, but also two, able to be tamed, led by somebody that's not a gnoll. He's not really sure how to like wrap his head around it, but he seems completely terrified and excited all at the same time.
What can we say? Big Dog is strong.
And the strongest leads to the gnolls.
This was almost perfect timing of an
The
actual
gnolls are
dog.
close. I heard him.
That was perfect.
So you're telling me that when we go up there, we will be greeted with kindness and have like a place to sleep if we wished?
It's an
More than that,
underestimate for crits.
when we go up there, there's going to be a celebration about my return. I am their king.
That's right. My brother is two kinds of royal.
The long and short of it is, I bested their chieftain in a fight, and that made me the boss. And until one of them feels that they're strong enough to best me in a fight, I am the boss.
Whoa, big dog.
Well, I will be ecstatic to see it.
Just try not to squeal and screech too much. They have sensitive ears.
Also, be respectful of their customs. They're gonna be different than anything you've ever known.
And don't touch the crystals.
Or do.
No, don't.
I'll go with don't.
Wise choice. Cryptilli is wonderful, brave, so intelligent, but she also just loves chaos.
You could call her inquisitive. Or a sadist. Either one works.
Or you could simply say I have good taste.
I suppose someone might say that. That's true.
In wine, maybe.
Well, let's go raise up your Knoll army, brother.
Oh, jeez. Well, as each of you begin to make your way up, one of the most southern summits of the Stokeland Mountain Range, you know the path fairly well, kind of just following the stench. You know, sniffing your way about. And it doesn't even take you the full day to reach the top, as each of you make your way towards the opening of the Southern Knoll Den. There you are greeted by two gnolls. One, the former Big Dog. And as each of you make your way up, seeing Crix, they all three begin to bark. Oh, you make! You do come!
I told you I would, didn't I?
Well, they say. But that mean you in charge again, right?
Yes, I'm in charge again.
Well, we do well. Come.
I'll follow their lead.
That's not the one I was looking for.
We renamed the old big dog. What did we rename him?
Oh, I would have to look.
I want to say it was some stupid like little dog, but I don't think it was.
Trying to look it up. I have no clue.
Try to find something not so fucking creepy. But we'll go with this for now.
Perfect.
Hey, what's wrong with creepy?
They tell you rabbits leave?
Yes, they did.
They leave all sorts of food.
That's good. I'm glad it's been good for everybody. Do you know why the rabbits left?
Stink stuff.
Most likely. The stinky stuff is very dangerous.
Appropriate but very loud. Yeah, it just smelled bad and it's not dangerous.
Can you take me to speak to old big dog?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go.
It too. That's his name.
Zoop, 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 zoop.
What was his name? Halftooth?
Tooth and Bloodface should still be here too. The kind of no witch.
Yes, the blind, no wise woman.
Somewhat wise.
What happened to Tooth?
It was Two Tooth and Dead Tooth.
Yeah, Dead Tooth is the old big dog. Tooth followed us for a while, right? I can't.
I figured Tooth is who we were talking to this whole time.
Yeah. In fact, the only one that you don't see in the area is the blind knoll. But it does seem that all the rest of them have gathered amongst the area. And as Dead Tooth makes his way forward, gives like a bit of like a respective bow towards you, Crix. See, Ben begins to like sniff you over. Oh, you've gone far.
I have. I hand him the Northern Knoll Tooth and tell him that that's proof of my strength.
As he holds it up, you just hear like bits of cheers barks, kind of coming from the rest of the gnolls, says, "Big dog strong! Big dog kill Nord Knoll!"
I want to pull out the northern nose hide that I have as well, the big blue one, and kind of get some credit myself, or at least try to.
A few of them kind of start to gather amongst you, like around your area, and they're like, "Oh, you do," and like they're like touching your hands, kind of pretty much invading your personal space.
Yes, this is what we've done. All of us are capable.
That's right. Our whole litter is strong.
Big dog make den strong. Big dog, you tell Rabbit leave.
No, I didn't tell rabbits to leave.
You know, send green stink.
No, something bad sent green stink.
Green stink not bad. Green stink just smell bad.
No, but what sent green stink is bad. What sent green stink? Want to kill all gnolls.
Dead Tooth looks at you a bit confused. Well, kind of like normal. Says, "And not hurt no."
Green stink might not hurt Null, but what make green stink will.
What made green stink are giant rabbits, just like there were giant gnolls. There's giant versions of us too.
But you already so big.
I know, right?
How they live in mountain?
Well, to be honest, we don't know. We don't know. We thought that they were gone. We thought that we never had to fight them again, but they seem to be back.
So,
And now we have to make sure the giant rabbits go away forever.
but then other rabbit come back.
In the short term, or for now, rabbit being gone good, but in long time, rabbit being gone bad. So we need the rabbits to come back, and then we can work on the food issue.
Plus, the other rabbits listen to us. We're like big dogs for rabbits. Well, not all of us, just me for now.
If we tell other rabbits to make sure gnolls get enough food, or have enough food to hunt, then the rabbits will make sure that they leave more than enough for you to get yourselves. There's a balance. Big rabbits don't like balance. Big rabbits want everything for themselves.
This whole time, Dead Tooth's just like nodding along, but he just looks dead in his eyes.
I'm trying to make it as simple as possible.
Dead Tooth, do you understand?
Oh yeah,
What did we say?
no idea.
Okay, great. So, you trust Big Dog, right? Big Dog protects you?
Yeah,
Okay, me too. So, we're gonna listen to Big Dog and what he asks us to do. Alright?
okay.
Okay.
That being said, Dead Tooth, we're gonna need to use the gnolls to help kill the big rabbits.
He just stares at you like almost blankly.
Big Dog needs help fighting big rabbits.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, our den much. Exactly. There were always. I want to look at Pine Hand and see.
Just like completely shocked. Anywhere like near. Actually, I had to. As he's like looking around,
Sorry, what was the name of the?
Bloodface?
That's what I thought, but I couldn't find it with control. You all celebrate and feast. I'm gonna go talk.
she's standing near Crystal.
And with you, maybe she could give you some insight into his predicament.
We can leave you here celebrating, big dog.
Out of my sight, but yeah, I'll let him go. I have to party down with.
And I shall too, if need be.
Eat.
Is it not putrid?
Right?
For the sake of saving face and customs, I'll take a bite out of this meat. Trying to eat the most cooked looking part of it.
Nonetheless, it's definitely raw.
It's fine, it's sushimi. I love that shit.
Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So the rest of you can make your way over towards Bloodface. As you make your way up, she's pacing along, moves. Give me back my token. Give it back. Give it
My
back.
bad.
As she moves towards you, as each of you make your way. Death follows.
We've seen a lot of death. Yes, Bloodface. Good to see you still around.
Bloodface make more knolls. You hear help again? She
Well-
gestures towards the large crystal.
Oh no. No. No, not right now. Maybe another time. I turn to Pinecrest and I say, "Don't touch the crystal." Pinehand is with us, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I heard something different.
Fine.
I thought I heard Pinecrest, and I was just gonna let it ride. But I was.
Did I say Pinecrest?
And then if you asked,
You definitely said Pinecrest at first.
and then if like Pinehand went up and touched it, and then you're like, I told him not to, and I was gonna be like, I heard Pinecrest.
My bad.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, but I let it slide.
Well, Pinecrest is a name, I think. Whereas Pinehand, I mean, I suppose it's a name, but. But I say, Bloodface, this stinky stuff, do you know what it is?
Old ones.
The old ones are coming. I know that you're not affected by the stinky stuff, by the fog, but the old ones will destroy you.
Most not too stupid. Me too strong.
You're too strong for the fog?
Like, kind of like uses her paw and like punches her head. Not like hard, but like gently, like knocking on her noggin.
Yes, I know. Very wise. Now tell me, what do you know of the fog and how we could get safely through?
Seems that she can. You two. You two have trouble.
Creep Tilly could get through?
And that one.
Me?
She seems to be pointing past you and saying, no, other one. Her.
Pine Hand? Just Stalin? And I point at just Stalin.
She obviously can't see this, so she just says, I don't know what you say. Call them.
So I point at everyone one by one, and I say, who can make it? I point at myself.
Mavar, she's blind.
I'm so sorry. I forgot.
For some reason, I keep forgetting that too.
I'm so sorry, I forgot.
Despite her damn name, I can't.
Ah.
Never mind, it's Bloodface, not Blindface. But yeah.
That's why when you were saying, like, I'm pointing, and I was like, well, she obviously can't see this.
That's right. I didn't catch it then either. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Anybody else want to talk to Bloodface?
I would just say, just Stalin. Ask her, do she think you could make it?
And I'll step forward and ask, see if I have that potential.
No, her.
Well, I'm not a her, so that makes sense.
So then I'll confirm that I could make it.
Yeah, you and that one. Gestures over towards Pine Hand.
And then Pine Hand. And I'll ask Bloodface, do you think there's any reason that that one, Pine Hand, could make it?
That death that follow.
Nice.
Tell us, is there anything we can do quickly to be strong enough like you to get through the fog?
Gets a couple more violent sniffs. Shakes her head. No. You boned. But that okay, me bring you back as friends.
Good to know. As Knowles or in this form?
We see how it goes.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyways, can you tell us about the death that follows?
See her kind of like give like a little bit of a quiver of the lip. And is showing her teeth a bit. It evil, but not. It
See?
hurt only bad.
I knew that I liked it.
Well, we want to go north to face the old ones and end this. Will you come with us?
Me no listen to you. Let me stay.
True. Great.
You touch Crystal now?
Oh no, no, thank you. And May's gonna like back up gracefully, but also like backing up. Thank you, Bloodface.
Thank you, ma'am. But no thanks. Back to the
Crix,
big room.
as they're making their way back, you're enjoying all sorts of festivities. They have chicken that's been like cut up. They have wine. They have ale. Most of them aren't touching the alcoholic beverages, but those that do, you can see are almost immediately affected.
Ah, they're lightweights. I'll have to keep them away from just Stalin.
Was catching up. On the way back, I want to say checking this out down here.
Oh,
Sorry.
give me 1 second. Let me look. But the other thing I wanted to tell you there, Crix, is that they keep just saying, like, every time they pull out something new, they're like, look what Rabbit left.
So they've been looting the surrounding, like, homes and things, huh? But every time they do, I'll be like, oh, wow, that's nice.
Because what are you taking a look at, just on? Oh, the bloodied meat bags?
Right.
Yeah.
See if try to figure out what type of meat it is before I
There's just
went to
all
the main
types.
section. Okay, it's just a bloody mess.
Mm-hmm.
No rabbit meat, though, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for like a ring finger or something.
No humanoids, no.
Alright. No digits.
Yeah, Rabbit leave good stuff. See one pull out like a loot, and it's just like kind of like plucking it, like bang, 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 bang. Doesn't sound good whatsoever.
Keep at it, you'll get better.
We're having a field day.
I almost feel bad that saving the continent will ruin their good time.
Well, remember, we're going to try to make them have a good time afterwards, too.
Yeah, but this is probably the truest freedom they've had in a long time, and even after we make things better, it won't be as free as they are now.
True.
But good for them. Live it up while you can.
Hell yeah. I'll pull out my wine jug and I'll say, anybody want some?
It appears safe
What
enough.
that?
Here, have a drink. And I'll drink some first.
They like stick their tongue in. Oh, it's sweet. And then, like as they like, kind of like pass it around, they're all just like slurping it down. And almost as soon as they begin to pass it, you see the gnolls beginning to stumble. Dead Tooth looks to you, Crix, and says, "Oh no, that's sweet juice."
Sweet juice dangerous?
It make everyone go sleep and not have watch.
Oh. Hey, just Stalin, get your wine back. We can't have all of them getting drunk. And if you give it to them, they will just drink it because you're Big Dog's family. We have to be responsible for them.
No, this ours. He gave it. One of the gnolls pipe up.
Big Dog says give it back.
They can get it in rations, like very, very small rations.
Okay, so
Shots of wine.
we pass it back down, but we all take another taste.
Fine.
Big Dog's so nice. Passing it down like kind of like a fireman chain, carrying a bucket of water. They all take a sip. and continue the line as it makes its way back down to just Stalin and Cryptili.
I'll keep it safe.
So when we leave for North, Big Dog?
Probably tomorrow or the day after that.
You been?
I have been, but not in a little while.
Furry up there.
Furry?
Shakes his head. Scarier than Big Knoll.
What's furry like?
Me, not really know. Only see from distance.
Does furry fly?
Hmm?
Did you see it in the sky from a distance?
Mm-mm.
2 legs, 4 legs.
This many.
How many does he hold up?
3.
3 legs. Well, now I'm just confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure how accurate that was.
So let's
Wait, how
just
many
call it
fingers
more
does
than
it?
2 legs.
How long will it take Dead Tooth to get all the gnolls ready to travel and fight?
Oh, we ready now.
Okay, good. So you'll be ready to go when I say go?
Yeah, we just grab stuff and go. Not caring much.
Perfect.
We have food, right?
We need to bring some with us. We need to bring all the food you have now.
All of it?
We'll get you much more later.
Oh, okay, Big Dog.
Maybe even eat Big Furry. Or Furry, or whatever it's called.
Wonder how Big Furry tastes.
If big and scary, usually tastes good, right?
Shrugs.
Well, we'll just have to find out, Dead Tooth.
Okay.
Big Dog, we need to make sure all of the gnolls come with us, including Bloodface.
I'll talk to her, but I don't know if I can force her to do anything. She's different from the rest of them.
True, but I think she could be a big help.
And
Worth a
between
try.
you and me, she's the one I trust the least.
All right.
But I will talk to her.
I'll leave it up to your judgment. We are in your kingdom after all, sir.
Oh, don't get all formal on me now, sis. By the way, did you try to recruit her to come with us already?
Yeah, it didn't go well. She wanted us to touch her crystal again, and basically she told us that Pinehand and Creep are the only ones able to withstand the fog. The rest of us would be rolling the dice, if you will.
Mm,
Oh, that's not good. But I will go and have a talk with her.
So as you make your way out, Crix, you start to head over towards Bloodface. The rest of them, as soon as Crix leaves, they just immediately begin asking you just Solid and Cryptilli for sweet juice. More sweet juice.
Big Dog said no. Oh no.
I look at Cryptillion and I say, Big Dog said no, creep.
And I won't give them any wine, but I'll look for a large goblet or bowl.
Are you gonna give him mayonnaise?
No, my container has wine in it now.
He's gonna give him a drinking bowl of wine.
Mayo would have changed their life.
Right? Mind blown.
Yeah.
Crix, as you make your way up, Bloodface is continuing her pacing and looks over in your direction. Big Dog, come now. Me thought you here.
Yes, I have returned.
You come touch Crystal?
Maybe. I'd like to speak with you first. My siblings informed me that they spoke to you about what's going on. Do you feel that I can resist the fog?
Mm-mm.
That's what I was afraid of. They also said they asked you to come along with everybody else and you refused?
Me stay here with Crystal.
Is it because you have to protect the crystal?
Shakes her head, yes.
And there's nothing I could say that would make you do otherwise?
Me not wanna.
By the way, why do you want me to touch the crystal right now? What do you plan to do?
Make more friends.
Friends that'll help you protect this place while we're gone?
And play games.
And play games. Is there anything that you can do or tell me that'll help us when we go to deal with the old ones?
They like to throw stuff.
Okay. Well, I thank you for your time. And I'm gonna go and touch the crystal.
Give me a con save. Alright, as you feel this pulse of energy erupt through your body, you'll take 2 points of damage. But you do hear a familiar voice. Ramblings, it seems, of Vivek calling to you. You hear the animals crying, calling out in the background.
Can I try to focus in on it?
It's kind of like the same mumbled, like cut off words. You can attempt to. Go ahead and give me a con save. Another one. No, after like kind of pushing through, you're able to make out a few of the words. While you're just observing the crystal, it's almost as if you can see this image in front of your eyes, reflecting out from the red. You see what appears to be Vivek and his animal companions in a fierce battle with frost giants. Frost giants hurling boulders as the owl maneuvers out the way. The other animals dodge upon the ground. See vines grow from the snowy earth, and then a flash of purple light coming from Vivek's staff. As you come back to, Bloodface looks at you with a bit of a smirk. See,
I see. Thank you, Bloodface. And definitely make more friends.
I have some. I have some here now. Want me?
I don't understand what she's saying.
Say hi.
Hello.
As she snaps her fingers with your hello, these hands kind of unveil themselves from the shallow graves, and then these skeletal gnolls begin to emerge. They all look at you. Eyes completely gone. It's just bone and bits of fur draped about. They all seem to be at your, focusing their attention towards you. Then they
Good.
wave.
So, while we're gone, Bloodface, I have a very important task for you. You need to guard this place and make sure we have a home to come back to. And I'll make sure there are gnolls to come back to our home.
Less gnoll, more food.
You still need friends, though, right?
But that's what you bring.
Well, you have a good night, Bloodface. It was good seeing you.
After like a couple of moments, you just hear her call out as you begin to make your way around the corner. That's not funny!
Oh, right! I'll just yell back, sorry, I forgot. It's just a turn of phrase. We gotta get her some magic eyes or something.
Oh my goodness. Or just stop making fun of her for being blind.
It's not making fun of her for being blind, it's
This is
forgetting she's blind.
it's a turn of phrase.
Yeah, we're terrible.
As you make your way back in, Crix, you see all of these like gnolls kind of just like begin to shuffle away from Justalin and Kreptilli, not wanting to be seen asking for the wine.
So they respect my authority, but they will undermine it, huh?
They seem to come pretty close, but
Well,
not
that's
quite.
fine. I do want them to have some freedoms. By the way, I was not able to get Bloodface to come with us. I am also not immune to the mist, like Cryptilli maybe. But I did have a vision of Vivek fighting the frost giants, and I saw a green glow come from his staff, which is weird because we've seen green glows before, and I believe they were similar, but this was coming from one of our family members.
So I wonder if it's from the staff that I have in particular. Maybe it does kind of dispel the fog itself. Hopefully naturally and without limits, but something to try.
Possibly.
Yes. Just stalling. Um, for the night, would you mind if I use that staff and you can teach me some things about it, like
No,
how it works?
I'll be glad to.
It's probably best if it stays with Cryptilli.
Yeah, since she's immune, I was gonna
Yeah.
push it towards her next. She can
It,
lead the way with the staff.
just in case.
Yep, I'm willing to part with it for the time being, which I'm sure she would love.
Well, it's just Stalin begins to go over how the staff works with you, Kreptilli. We'll go ahead and call it a night here. with a nice, safe place to rest. Well, give or take, right? Like, you guys know that there's danger in the area. You guys know that Cilium does make his way down this way, and you know, you have a bunch of wine on you that you've tempted him with, I guess. Maybe another concern, who knows? But, nonetheless, fairly safe, because you have a whole Knoll army at your back. So, goodest place as ever to give it a call for the night for a nice rest for the evening. And hopefully we're able to pick this up next week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plan for May 11th. Just kidding.
Based on the pattern.
But just to be fair, this does actually benefit a couple of things, but I'll explain all that later. Other than that, everyone else, have a good night, and see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Good night, y'all.